I recognize that this is probably like an insane take, but I have stopped using Google Maps to get to destinations where I know the way. A couple of reasons. One, if you feel like a true citizen of the city, just taking your own like homebrewed route to get to a place. Secondly, I actually feel this is where maybe it's truly insane. I genuinely feel like I know the traffic patterns in Vancouver better than Google Maps with the real-time data, which is like doesn't make sense. But there's so many times, and I'll admit the observer bias potentially available here to myself. I'm trying to lock on to this dude, man. But there's so many times where I'm like running a little bit late. And I say to myself, fine, I'll use the Google Maps data because they have real-time traffic data. And then as I'm taking the route that they give me, I'm like, no, this is slow. I should have just gone with my own route. And then when I go with my own route, I'm always like, I arrive like earlier than when I go with Google Maps, man. Like, I'm not saying that Google Maps is bad. That's idiotic. All I'm saying is that, like, I know on my trip to daycare, like, where I don't want to turn left. Because there's some intersections that get backed up. Sometimes it's telling me to turn left on an intersection that doesn't even have, like, a light. And I'm like, brother, if you want me to turn left there, I'm going to be waiting, like, 20 minutes for somebody in traffic to let me in. I could just go one more block down and then get, like, a protected left turn instead. Given the choice, yeah, I would always turn left, like, with a light as opposed to turning left, like, without a light. I feel like sometimes you just got to recognize that, like, or at least I'm choosing to recognize, car safety is kind of like a numbers game. Like, the odds of you getting into a car accident on any given trip are fairly low. But if you really want to, like, halve the number of lifetime accidents you risk getting into, you could drive 25% safer easily. So instead of saving 1 minute by taking, like, a very slightly more dangerous turn, I'll leave 1 minute earlier, and I'll turn left on a protected left turn light instead. And then over the course of my entire life, hopefully that adds up to maybe, like, one less catastrophic injury from trying to pick up my kid from childcare. Sometimes I don't even like turning right on red. I couldn't agree more with you. I saw a great tip once where I said we should outlaw going right on red because it's annoying as a driver and as a pedestrian and as a cyclist. Someone said, what I usually do is get into the right lane and then don't put my signal light on while the light is red. And then as soon as it turns green, I turn my signal light on and just take the safest turn. I was like, I've done that now. There's intersections in Vancouver where it's like, some pedestrians are walking, some pedestrians are sprinting, some of them are dropping their wallet on the ground in the middle of the intersection, forgetting, turning around, bending over to pick it up. Meanwhile, cyclists are going through on the sidewalk, cyclists are going through in the bike lane, some cyclists are coming through in the other direction. There's a cyclist next to me on the road, and I'm like, my ass is just waiting until this turns green, and I'm sorry. If your ass is fuming behind me, then so be it. I'm sorry. You can honk as long as you want, unless you're going to get out of your car and kill me. I remain unaffected. I trust most people here, because you've already made an intelligent choice with your entertainment. I trust most of your judgment. I know that sounds like an insane statement, but if you want to turn right on red, that's no problem with you.
Ask one.
That's no problem with me, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Once more.
Someone said if you were at a deserted intersection and the light was red and it was the middle of the night, would you go? I know that this makes me sound like a little puss. I would stay until it turned green.
As if that was going to keep us out.
The reason is, like, people get in half, maybe not half, I'm making up a number, obviously. No, I'm not worried about speed cameras. It's just that what percentage of car accidents are caused by, like, overconfidence or being like, the rules don't apply to me?
Is it?
Whatever percentage that is, I
Can't see a
can
thing.
almost eliminate it down to 0 by just following the systems that were in place to make driving as safe as possible. Even doing it as safely as possible is like relatively dangerous. So I'm at least gonna follow the lights. That's why I don't jaywalk as much either. Like I was thinking, like I was crossing the street and the walk sign was off. But there were no cars that I could see. But there were cars parked on like the sides of the street and the other side. So I had some blind spots. And I had that like light bulb moment. That it's like the light does not tell me when to cross. It's like a young man's idiocy to be like, no red hand is going to tell me when I can or can't walk. The light is letting you know that the cars have a green light right now, so fucking be careful. So I waited for this shit to turn into the walk sign, and then I peeked out in the intersection, and then I looked both ways, and then I crossed the damn street, because I don't want to die to somebody that's like texting on their phone like, oh, do you need me to pick up almond milk or something like that? Because their ass is going to go to jail for like 18 months maximum, and then get their license handed back to them. My ass will be like in heaven, hopefully. This is for the pot play. It's about to get real epic in here.
Big.
The mother crystal.
Thanks.
Like, I'm not suggesting that you're completely free from risk if you follow the rules. But I tend to follow, like, all safety rules. Just because, like, what do they say? Like, safety regulations are written in blood? Like, my ass, when they put the fasten your seatbelt sign on in the airplane, I fasten my seatbelt. Now, I don't turn off Bluetooth. Because that's just crazy. Planes will be dropping out of the sky 24/7 if that actually affected things. But I put on my seatbelt because every once in a while you'll see a flight that's like, we had so much turbulence that people were cracking their skulls open on the overhead bins. No airplane mode? They shouldn't call it airplane mode. They should call it roaming mode. Because that's the only reason I ever use it. Is, oh shit, I'm not in Canada. Put my phone in roaming. Put my phone in headboard mode. So true. Anyway, that's like all I got. You'll find that that's a consistent through line, I think. Like, I don't engage in too much, like, unsafe behavior. In particular, oh, the door. Like, the risk-reward one that gets me the most is the ski lift, man, when people don't put the bar down. And I'm like, what's the point? You gotta put the bar down, man. You don't want to, like, fall off of the ski lift. You look cool with the bar up, though? You don't look cool. You look the same. You look exactly the same. It's like people who don't wear a helmet on their bikes, you know, because they're like, oh, you look like a dork wearing a helmet. Yeah, I'll be the dork who fucking passes you, putting out 2.75 watts per kilogram. Your ass huffing and puffing, just trying to get up Oak Street. You shouldn't bike on Oak Street. That's more... No, I'm telling you for your own safety. That's more of a car street. You just go a couple of blocks down. You go up Ontario or something like that. Head on out to the Arbutus Greenway if you're just... I guess it depends. Like, maybe you're commuting to work. Maybe you're not just biking for fun. I don't know. Anyway. You wouldn't understand? It messes up your hair? Bro, you're 35. Your hair's already messed up, okay? Get over yourself. Headboard mode? Roaming mode? Get deadly embraced? I forgot how to press buttons in this game. Never mind, I'm still chilling. I'm still cool. Honestly, take a note.